All right, we are live. Okay, I'm just decided one. I'm testing this new Streamlabs kind of addition they did. So it's supposed to be regular horizontal and also a vertical screen on one of the other outlets. So hopefully that's working. I'm not sure if that's supposed to go to the vertical streaming on YouTube Shorts or not. I guess I'll find out when this is over, whether or not that's what happens. But it's the first time I'm using this feature. So maybe you'll be able to see this on YouTube Shorts, but I'm not quite sure yet. Anyway, I am in a bit of a issue here. You see, I have a few, but I have one local newsletter, and I've been trying to figure out an easier way to collect sponsorship dollars for the newsletter. So instead of having all the back and forth, because what happens is you offer sponsorship, someone will say yes, and now you got to send them this link to pay, and then you got to send them this form to fill out, and it can be really, really messy, especially when you have other things to do. So there's some booking software out there. So one is with Beehive, and this newsletter is on Beehive, and you have to get to I think the max account to do that, which is a lot more expensive than the one below it. And the problem is when they created their feature to collect sponsorships, ad slots, and to book those. The issue is the last time I looked at it, which is when they first released it, their fees for using that, to me, were no damn better than some of the options that were there at that time. See, for them, they were like, oh, well, we won't take a percentage because some of the booking platforms that were available took percentages. Now, if you're doing $5,000 sponsorships and for your newsletter, of course, that eats up a lot more of your money. But if you're doing like $15, $20, $30, $40 ads, percentage may not be so bad. Now, for my newsletter, it's a local newsletter, I wanted some cheaper slots, like the classified ad slots, let them be, maybe $60, $36 starting out. And as it grows, move it up to 60 and so on. The problem is with that newsletter sponsorship tab in Beehive takes an automatic charge out. So they don't tack on a percentage. What they decide to do is they're going to cut you a flat fee, which the last time I checked was $10. Now, if I was doing $1,000 sponsorship stuff, cool, $10 is no problem. But for most of it, that is a problem because these small ads are supposed to be built for creators, because I wanted to have a section in newsletter where creators can have like really affordable advertising, and they can say, hey, I got my book, I got my comic. So I don't want the ads to be really expensive. I want it to be, reasonable for them. And I've been looking for an option to try to make it so it actually made sense. And so I was thinking of doing Beehive, but they're charging so much, it kind of defeats the purpose. And I've been struggling trying to find something to fix that. Or is there another platform that at this point, I'd rather pay a $10 subscription a month, and then name my price and then have the really, really cheap option so that all my book folks and comic book folks can like, okay, this is my slot. I paid $10 and, that's it. That's kind of what I've been trying to do. So I've been trying to not have to make a tool because I don't want to make a tool, but it just seems like their option is just so expensive. So unless y'all know another tool, y'all can let me know and I can go look at it. But at this point, I had one I signed up for today. It's not going to work out because I can't charge less than $150, and I don't want to do that. Like, this is a local newsletter. This is a local creator section. I want stuff in that section from an advertising perspective to be cheap. Like, cool, 3 people buy a slot, cool. That leaves me enough profit to buy a coffee at that point. I don't want super expensive ads for that section for folks because it doesn't make any sense. I kind of wanted to have that part of the newsletter, but a lot of the tools are so expensive. Like, they're looking at people trying to charge $5,000 on an ad. I'm not trying to do that. It's this local newsletter. Here's the events. Here's the creators. Here's them that they can plug their books, and it's something that's affordable, and they know they're going to get seen, and people are going to click to whatever shows they're doing, or place where they can pick their books, and it's a nice available option. But it doesn't seem like anyone's interested in making a tool that's economical in order for someone to do that. Because there's another local newsletter owner that I know, and I asked her, because she tried doing a section for like the creative side of her newsletter too. She's in a different city, and she was saying that she was having such a hard time trying to find something where people can make the exchange. Like, they have a book summary. She gets the book summary. She gets the cover for the book automatically without her having to go back and forth. So, I don't know if y'all know a different tool or process, please let me know, because I am in desperate need of finding something that makes sense. Because I got like 25 book people, authors that they want to buy ad space, and I want to give them something that makes freaking sense. And then the tools are like built for people having that in mind, which is ridiculous because it's a local newsletter. It's a bunch of us local newsletter owners. We're not trying to I'm not trying to get a gigantic, tell an offer, hey, you got to pay $5,000 for sponsorship. That's like ridiculous to me. I don't know if y'all know a tool, because somebody must know something. Let's see. Hey, what's up? I've been looking on the side, so y'all have been commenting. I apologize, I haven't seen it. How do I do that? Cool. Oh, nice. Oh yeah, I'll post about it. We're in Houston. This is the Houston newsletter. So if y'all are curious, my newsletter is in the city of Houston. I know people who have newsletters in other cities, and in my newsletter, I wanted to have a section focused on those in the creative side, because there's a lot of book authors, a lot of comic book creators, a lot of musicians, stuff like that, and they really don't have any cheap place where they can say, hey, I got a show, or hey, my book is coming out, or hey, my Kickstarter is coming out. But I featured people's Kickstarters in my newsletter before. I featured book events in my newsletter before. That's kind of a common thing that I'll do. But there's people who want space. And I want to give them the space to do that. And like, hey, pay me $20. Give me the stuff. I'll put it in there. Cool. But I need a tool to make that a little easier outside of just sending people random Stripe links. I wanted to self-generate for them, so I don't have to deal about going back and forth. Because I know, one example is I had someone who wanted to buy a space, and it took us 6 emails to get that straightened out. 6. That was back and forth. They didn't see it. I didn't see it. They would add a question, clarified it, back and forth. And it's like, if I can just get that captured in one area and just be like, okay, one response, we could have had it all down in 2, but it took us 6 emails in 2 weeks. So I don't want it to be, that cumbersome for anybody to get a spot. It shouldn't be that difficult. But for goodness sakes, I looked at Paved, which was one, and that's the one you can, if you use Paved, once you register and go through it, they do have for now, free booking system, and it looks beautiful and it's functional. The problem is it doesn't allow me to charge below $150, and that's what sucks. So I figured, let me explain my situation to ChatGPT and let it find a solution for me. I don't know, maybe it can find something that might work, because that's kind of that's where I'm at. But once again, if you know something better, if you know, hey, use this system instead, drop that in the comments. I will surely check it out. I don't even care if it's your thing. I need a solution, because I don't want to build this out. I just want to plug and play. I'd rather pay a monthly fee that's reasonable and have this in place than me having to build it. I don't want to build it. If y'all got a solution, if you've done newsletters before, this would be the time to say something. Let's see. I'm gonna see what it says over here, ChatGPT. Maybe it will give me a better answer than what I hope I don't want to do. All right. Oh crap! It's gonna make me build it. I don't want to build it. Damn it. First thing it said, oh, your best bet is get this form. Tally is a form builder. I think I've almost used them once. Stripe, of course, I have Stripe. Then I have to use Airtable and Make. This is telling me basically to build this out. Like, this was a solution I don't want to do. I don't want to do. I can do it. I've built more complex automations, but I was hoping that, you know, I get a solution that was already built by somebody else that actually would work for my needs. But it's telling me just to build it. This is something I was trying to avoid. You can't see it. Tally is a form builder. Stripe, of course, it collects payments. Airtable, which I didn't want to mess with, and then Make or Zapier and Superbase. Now, I have most of these tools with the exception of, I do have an Airtable, but I don't really use it for this kind of stuff with Tally because I don't really use Tally. So I could do all this, but this will probably going to take me a couple hours. This is what I didn't want to do. So their thing is like, use the form builder to collect information and show dates. Stripe is a checkout. Yes. Airtable is going to store all out the ad slide inventory. And then you can use Make or Zapier. That's going to automate all of it. So, but the problem is, like, I want it to be this complexity that I want to build into here that's going to really like take this a little further. Because, for instance, if someone has a thing they fill out and they buy the ad slot, say the ad slot is $20, right? And they give me information on an ad that I can't run in my newsletter because it's not safe for work content. And I don't run not safe for work content in my newsletter as an ad. I don't add out. I don't do any of that. So I need to make sure there's something. I'm probably just going to have to put in the form and make it explicitly clear that there are limits to what people can actually have as an ad in my newsletter. It looks like I'm going to have to do that because I wanted an approval process before, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the best bet. Come my own storefront. Yeah, this is the Airtable. Yeah, it looks like this is what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to do the thing we didn't want to do. But for those of you who are going to be like, when you're looking for a solution to a problem, right? And in this case, I'm trying to get a form builder that collects the ad slots and blocked. Good thing I'm talking about this out loud. I forgot. I'm typing in, I want to make sure to have multiple ad slots and types for the newsletter issue. I also want the slots that are paid for to be blocked out from blocked out to prevent overbooking. Okay, let's put that in there. We'll see if it changes anything there. That's what we're looking for. Okay. Yeah, see, that's the conditional logic, right? It's stuff like, okay, I have 4 ad slots. Someone clicks on the ad slot and they book. I need that to gray out on the calendar. I do not need people over or triple booking on the same ad slot for the same day. I don't need that. So I put that in there. And let's see if I can do the conditional logic without me adding 45 different pieces. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Multiple ad slots plus auto blocking, payment, creative upload. Yes. Okay, will it do it with the same tools? Let me see. Airtable, cool. Tally, Stripe, Make. Okay. All right, so it's the same tools. I don't have to add another tool to it. That's good. Okay. I use Airtable. I just don't use Airtable that much. I know I can use Superbase too, and I have an account and I use it for something else. So I'm gonna try with Airtable. I'm gonna see what happens with it, and I'll keep it in Airtable for now. Eventually, maybe if this gets too big, I might have to switch over to like a Superbase. But for right now, this might work. Okay. So that's the nice thing about this stuff. Like if you're going to use for like chats and LMMs, is try to solve your own problem. Try to solve a problem you have. I have a newsletter. I want to offer cheap ad slots for my creatives who want to advertise in my newsletter. There's no solutions that are available that allow me, from a financial standpoint, to be able to do that. So we're going to have to create our own makeshift tool. Oh, I know what I forgot. I want notifications when someone books a slot. Okay. All right. So now I'm going to have it think on that. Because I was thinking about, because I know I do enough of this, so like I probably come from Stripe, and I'm wondering if when I have it, because I'm going to have to build this out. So I was going to have the notification come from Stripe, because Stripe will do that and send the person a receipt, which is what I do want it to do. But I also want a reminder for me. So it might have to go to like another make automation and do that as well, is what I'm thinking. Okay. Okay. And I want a receipt sent to buyer. Okay. All right. Yeah, I can have Stripe send the receipt. I think they're charging for receipts now, so that might be. I mean, the cleanest way is for Stripe to do it. Yeah, because I think I don't want to send them an invoice. I just want them to send a receipt. Sometimes it will send receipts for free, or they used to, but I think in Stripe now, as they do it, you have to pay a percentage extra now for them to do that. So if you're going to use a similar solution to this, just remember that you might have to do that. Or I can have a custom receipt made probably in Make. I might do that too. I'll have to see what the price difference is for the receipt sending in Stripe now. And we can add that in. So like when they buy, they'll get their receipt. I'll get the notification. And then we can move forward. But if that's gonna add like so much of a percentage, because I'm trying to keep these ad slices like really, really cheap. And also, if I get a refund situation, I have to be able to handle that too. And I don't want it to break the automation. Yeah, this is a nice one. I might actually have to let them Stripe receipt and then a receipt from us. This is a nice looking receipt. Yeah, this will probably work better, so I can keep that. Yeah, combine both options. Yep, that's what I need to do. All right, so we'll keep this part of the build out. Yeah, okay, so I think we got that part. So we're going to use those tools. We're going to keep that part of the build out with Stripe. And we're going to connect that. Now the creative upload has to come to me as well. So I do not know how much Tally costs. I don't know if they have a free option or not. I have no idea. So let's see. Does Tally have a free option? Or do I have to pay for that too? Because I might have to pay for that. So I might have to switch this up to Google Forms. No, they have a free option. Okay. Well, and it's not. No, do they have a free option? I just see. No, I see a paid option. Yeah, that kind of sucks. That really does suck. Do we have are there free options for forms instead Tally. I know there are, but I still might be forced to get a form. Yeah, I might have to do a Google form. Yeah, I might have to do a Google form. Okay, well, they gave me some options. I might have to, Google form. I'll probably try that first. Jot forms I've used in the past. That could be a good option too. They do have a free option, so we'll try that as well. Okay, so we can do that. All right, so we're gonna do that. Even though, once again, if you see this and you're like, "Hey, don't do that, Lauren," there's actually a way you can book, and they allow you to set whatever price. Let me know, please. Let me know. Otherwise, I got to build this out. I got to build this out, and I don't particularly want to. All this so that I can offer cheap ads in my newsletter. I just want to collect money, offer cheap ads in my newsletter. This is what this turned into. I'm going to have to build this out because there's no usable tool that's affordable for newsletters who do cheap ads that are under $100. There's no affordable tool that I found. But if you have a tool, if you made a tool, please drop that in my comments. If you've made a tool that handles this, drop it in my comments. I would greatly, greatly appreciate you in this. Nice. Just saying hi, thanks for stopping by. I wish I could reply to people in the comments as much. You don't let me do that. I literally wanted to reply, say thank you, but it won't let me do it. It won't let me do it for some reason. So yeah, so sometimes and it's funny. So if you're ever using like looking for a particular answer, you need to search the internet. Perplexity is actually a little bit better at searching because Perplexity is just a super search tool. So I did go to Perplexity a little earlier and it's just like, hey, are there any other booking systems for ad slots for newsletters? And it gave me some options, but two of the options are no longer available for what I needed to be. And the option that I had that I registered for today is going to lock me into having to charge $150 per ad slot. And I want to give ad slots that are under $100 in my newsletter. So that's why I'm kind of in ChatGPT. I'm trying to figure out a better way to do that so that I can have it in my newsletter because people ask me, can I buy a slot? Sure. And I want it to be affordable because a lot of people asking me are, other musicians, local artists, and authors, and they just want to, my newsletter is a local community newsletter, and we have over 4,000 subscribers every single week, and they want to get in front of them, and I don't blame them. But it's like hard to find an option that doesn't cost so much money for me to actually give them the option to do it. So I've been struggling finding a better solution. Once again, if you know something better than I do, please let me know in the comments because I am open. I don't care if you built it. I just need something that works because I can build this out and I'm probably going to have to build this out in order for this to work. But if you know something, please let me know because I've been looking. There's one option is no longer the company shut down. Another option I registered for, it won't allow me to charge what I want to charge, which is under $100. So if you know something better than I do, please let me know. Once again, I don't care if it's yours. I just need it to work because I want to charge under $100. I want to charge like $30 for the ad slot. I don't want to charge someone $300. There's a lot of local newsletters and they charge 300, 600, 700 per slot. And that's fine. That's great for them. But this was supposed to be for my local indie creators. So I was trying to keep it very affordable for my local indie creators. Now, the other companies, the big mortgage company and stuff, if they want to run an ad in my newsletter, they can pay $300, right? They can pay $400. I don't really care. There's tools that are helpful for that amount. Anything below 100, there hasn't been any tools that have been really helpful that I have seen lately. But if you do have something, I really would love a suggestion. I really would. And also, if you're seeing this, are you guys seeing the vertical version of this? Because I don't know where it's streaming to. If it's even showing, I have no idea. I have no freaking idea. I know the vertical format is here, but I have no idea where it's streaming to. If it's streaming to the vertical account or not. But, all right. So, okay. This is Google Forms. A drop form for free. Do we want Google Forms or drop forms? I don't know. Drop forms have to open up account. Google Forms is easier, so I'll probably do Google Forms. Okay, so can I accept the download from people sending me their creatives? That's like in Google Forms. Okay, they can take it, but Google Forms has one catch. Upload must. Oh crap. Okay, so maybe a Google Form is not going to be good. In order for them to do that for Google Forms, the person is going to have an account. Okay. Okay. I want another form option. All right. So Google Forms is out. I don't want to force everybody to use a Google account in order to send me the stuff. So what we got? Okay. Feathery, I've never heard of this. Form Spark, I have no idea what that is. Form Carry. Netify, I've heard of. Okay, this company I've never heard of. It just sometimes they bring up options that I'm sure are great, but I've just never heard of these companies before. What about Jotform? Let's see. Okay. 100. Okay, this is fine. I think I'll do Jotform. All right. All right. I will use Jotform. Create the instructions to build this out. Keep in mind, I am not as familiar with using Airtable, so I will need detailed options for that part. Okay. All right, it's figuring that out. So like when you're building automations and it suggests a tool that you're going to use and you don't know how to use that automation or use that tool, what you need to do is specify that, hey, I want to use this tool, but I'm not really familiar with using this tool, so I'm going to need some detailed instructions with that part. That way it will actually break down the instructions more for you, so you don't struggle as much. Jotform, I'm pretty familiar with using. Airtable, I don't use as much. I'm gonna need more detail about that. So it's giving me everything I need because I know Airtable is gonna take the longest time for me to put together because I just don't use that like that. So that's something just to keep in mind. That when you're using it to help you plan out your build for whatever specifically, because I'm not vibe coding in this. Like if there's situations where another stuff I vibe coded, like, hey, I need this landing page so I can actually connect it to my database and then Stripe and take payments for something different, right? In this case, this is not what this is. So we're not vibe coding, but I am getting instructions on how to connect certain things, or telling it, hey, I need it to have this type of functionality. What are the tools available if it's not already built that can do this? And it's giving my list of tools, and then I get to go and cherry pick which ones I'm familiar with or which ones I already have access to. And then anything I don't, ask more specific questions about the pros and cons about that tool. And then after that, okay, give me some instruction on how to cook this up. Keep in mind, I don't know how to use this tool as much, or say, I don't want too much complexity because I want this, and this. I need something that works, at least for now, that can handle a certain capacity, and it'll give you some options, and then you can start working those options. Then when you get to that capacity, hopefully your tool works, or you're collecting the money, and then you can pay somebody who is a lot better at this stuff to fix it for you. That's kind of how I work out things. But yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to test this feature out, really, and help work out this issue I'm still having. Once again, if you see this at any time during the replay, please give me a suggestion. Because I'd rather not I'd rather not have to build this out. Anyway, thanks for the folks who stopped by. I appreciate y'all. See ya next time. Hopefully we've figured out the solution to this.